What's the P? Time to change the narrative. Black gay men talking real issues and they sharing it. Everything from dating, even talking hot topics. Mental health, sex, love, and everything around it.
I'm JB, and we are back on the set of What's the P? As I mentioned last season, we've all heard of What's T or What's the T, but now we have the newest show going into season 2 called What's the P? I am back here with the show's hosts, creators, and producers, Justin Lamar.
Hello.
And Curtis Rusella. Hey, guys. All right, so we are heading into season 2,
Yes.
right? So before we talk about season 2, let's go ahead and just take just a small step backwards. First, we're going to talk about season 1, how, what you guys learned from that season. But before we do that, let's talk about the show's purpose.
Well, the purpose of the show is to allow gay Black men to express their opinions and concerns and issues of topics that actually impact our community. So that, again, we're not there to solve a problem, we're there to start
the conversation.
Yeah. And because it's conversations that aren't being had and they need to be had. And if when they are being had, they're being had in a confined constraint of where it's still within our community and nobody else is hearing it. And the conversation or the dialogue isn't being had with anybody else to actually make a difference.
Yep. All right. So, and season 1 just finished wrapping up. So how was it?
Season 1 was amazing. It was a learning curve. I think we learned a lot about each other. We learned about our guests.
We learned how to put the show together.
Right, from post to pre. I've seen
editing.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's not just like, oh, we're just gonna make a show. No, we actually spent a lot of time with What's the P. For me, that was from A to Z. It was just everything was learned. We kept learning. And season 2, you're gonna see
Hopefully the progression.
the progression. Every season, we want to grow and make the show better.
Absolutely. And I see you guys have What's the P graphic tees.
What's the P? Louisa and Lamar.
There you
Justin
go.
and I had a talk about what we would like from the show, and we definitely feel that we need to promote it and build the brand up a little bit more because there is a message that we're trying to communicate to the community, and we want to get that message out as much as possible.
All right, so let's talk about season 1 just a little bit more. What were some of the challenges that you guys actually faced aside from, putting the show together?
The first season, I feel like, was a learning experience. Shout out to all our guests. We really appreciate you guys for being a part of our first season, which was a really huge success. We felt like some of the topics were heavy. The viewers and the What's the P fam comments were, oh, this is a good show. Y'all guys are tackling the issues that we usually don't talk about. You're not just talking about hot topics or what's relevant. You're talking about stuff that people are actually going through in their daily lives.
Absolutely. What about you, Chris? What you learned from it?
I learned that the topics that we discussed are topics that people are really scared. They are really scared to have discussions about. Not only just from the responses from the client, the show viewers, but just actually trying to get participants and guests to be on the show to have those discussions. So it just lets us know a little more that what we're doing is the right thing and those discussions need to be had because people are scared to have them. Just within the group, people would talk to us after the show or at like maybe the bar or something about the show, but they're really intimidated to be on the show to have those discussions.
With some of the topics?
I think the biggest challenge was actually finding guests for the show. A lot of guys are intimidated to express their opinion or even be associated. And I think it goes back to one of the topics that we had on the show is not self-acceptance. We're comfortable with our own community, knowing who we are, but when it's out there and letting people, we were told that they didn't want the people on their job to know that they were
family.
Gay, their family, that they were gay. They didn't want them actually hearing the conversations that we were having Some people told us that they had to pray to God about it.
Wow.
Like literally, gay black men talking about that they had to pray to God to be on the show to talk about themselves.
Right.
So it was it was a
Weird.
little, it was very interesting.
It was weird to me because I was like,
Well, if you don't know yourself, you know.
right, that's I was like,
But that just
Right.
reaffirms what we are doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that there's a need out there for it.
the
because-
conversation to make it more everyday, to make it more willing, open, that you don't have to be so guarded about how you feel and what you look like, but you can really just maneuver like our counterparts do. Like they come say what they have to say about how they feel, and they're gonna love who they want to love.
And the other big thing is that in mainstream media, we gay men have always been a caricature or a stereotype.
Or accessory, or a side person.
Yeah, and this show allows you to show who you are and express yourself as an everyday gay black man that has opinions and views on issues that impact everybody as well as ourselves. And so that's why we want to really actually implement the show. So people who don't have that voice or who are intimidated or scared to express themselves, they can start allowing people to see who they are or show it to other people so people can be comfortable in that little situation. And then maybe you're a little bit more comfortable to express yourself.
And also to show a spectrum of gay black men. We all come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
We're all from different places in the United States.
So aside from the challenges of some of the guests that you reached out to, or that reached out to you guys not wanting to come onto the show, but the guests that that you guys had on the show, what was their feedback like?
I think the feedback a lot of times
They were
was-
nervous at first.
yeah.
They're like, ooh. But once we finished, they was like, oh, that wasn't bad.
The discussions always tend to go much longer
And
than
usually,
afterwards because I think people feel good having the discussions afterwards because
you got it off your chest.
and you get to hear what you've been internalizing a lot and you don't know for sure if it's right or wrong, but you actually get to hear somebody
Well, it made sense.
Yeah.
And I think I think that has been the biggest aha and just getting prepared. I think another challenge is preparing for the show. We've had Justin and I had a couple of because people think like we just come up with the topic
No.
and it's not just
We
the
research,
topic.
like research
We'll
stuff,
have ideas.
yeah.
We'll build a whole list of topic ideas, but then we have to research it to say how is this going to impact our community? How does it?
How do we
impact-
relate that to black
Yes.
and black and gay? And I
Because
think
there's
that
been
was
shows that we
yeah.
recorded
We
that
like-
we haven't even put out because we didn't feel like it actually was going to impact us completely.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
that's been the hardest thing is just making sure that we stay on task with what our mission is.
Yeah. And also, I think, back to the guests, I think when we finish, like, we take for 45 minutes back. Like, when we have breaks in between, people still want to talk more about it. Like, so that was another, like,
Well, just idea, maybe have some behind the scenes type conversations. Because there's been times where I've been on the show and we finished, taping
and it wasn't great.
and we
It
are
wasn't
still here
great.
like an hour later still talking.
I don't know if everybody wants what they said.
Well, minus that one time.
And then,
It
like,
wasn't me.
And that on the after show, well, not after show. The idea maybe was
Right.
like, but usually
That's
everybody's
right.
relaxed. We're changing to the next.
Yeah.
But preparing for the next show, I think people are drinking wine or we're drinking whatever or eating, and people are more relaxed. We're just hanging around, and that's like, oh, yeah, I can't believe y'all said that. Or it's interesting to see what's after.
Just
between
maybe,
it.
like I said, just a thought.
I like that.
But now let's talk about the actual viewers. Some of the feedback that you guys have received from viewers. How have those been?
It was interesting. It's been interesting. We had people who were religious and were condemning us. And
Oh, that first season, one of our
You got to make an impact now.
one of the comments, it was like 5 paragraphs. And he condemned us for, he's saying on certain topics, being that you're black gay, you should know better than this. And he was coming from another black gay man. And then some of the comments were giving us props like, hey, I can't believe y'all did all this production on your first season. Like, keep up the good work. So just, they said a young show. As far as religious, I think one was my grandmother, who was a pastor, she was like, whoa. She was like, I watched a show with with your aunt and uncle, and she was like, thank you for doing the show. She said, because it gives me an opportunity to see your life through the show and a community that I know nothing about. So I think it's that way.
I think a lot of times we've gotten feedback from people that are really like our allies, not just the community but the allies, and the feedback has always been really positive. I've heard a lot of times that you guys are really brave and you should be proud of what you're doing and what you're talking about. There was a time that there was a topic with the when it came to suicide that I really felt passionate about, and the guy was like, I had to make sure that I was okay with it. The guy was upset that we had an image of a little kid with a gun in his mouth, and he was so focused on the gun image with the child with the gun image instead of actually listening to what the show was about. That is actually happening. You know, like the whole purpose of the image is to push it in your face that this is happening. It's not in the closet like we are. It's in your face. It's happening every day. And so we have to. So sometimes the images and sometimes the dialogue will be a little bit risky because we want to force it onto you and make sure that you hear the message that's actually being conveyed and that we want that discussion to be talked about.
Right. So we're gearing up for season 2.
Right.
Rumor has it you guys have already started recording.
Rumor has it.
That rumor is true.
So what can we look forward to?
We have some great topics.
Oh, yes.
So we're still staying with some in-depth topics about deep things that actually really hurt, that can not really hurt, but that should be talked about and expressed in our in our community. But we're also
talking about fun things like dating taboos, wants versus needs,
hot topics.
Wants versus needs. I really do love that.
Oh my
topic.
God.
I think that's something that can be continued
really love that topic,
over and over again. And the dating taboos is something
because everybody's gonna have a different opinion about what they're gonna accept or what they're not gonna accept. Dating taboos. Now that was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Also, we're doing hot topics, which is a new segment we're gonna do every month, where gay topics intersect with current events, and they're going to be called hot topics. And
so this season we have new people who have actually inquired about being on the show and have actually showed up to be on the show, and it gives us a whole different perspective because that's the goal. We want people from different geographical backgrounds, region backgrounds, religious backgrounds, age differences, financial status, education backgrounds. We want it to be diverse so people can hear perspectives from all points of view.
Absolutely. Now one thing I am curious to know too. We know that the show is based around the gay black, male men. But have you guys heard from our Caucasian counterparts, Hispanic Asian counterparts? Like, have they joined in on the conversation by chance?
Actually, I've had a few, maybe a handful of white gay males say, "Oh my God, this show is interesting. I like you guys' conversation. I never knew that you had this perspective. And keep up the good work. It's very intriguing and interesting to watch." And I think black women, I think can relate to our show too. I think black gay men and black women they're very mirror. They have a lot of things similar in dating, lifestyles, and everything.
And especially with abuse and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I actually happen to work with a very diverse group of gay men from very different ethnic backgrounds. And a lot of people, most of the feedback that I get seems to come back from people that are outside of our group. And the feedback is good. A lot of people have actually inquired about wanting to be on the show, and we keep telling them that we want to make
we need to establish.
You guys seem to have this discussion all the time with your people, but we need to have a discussion with our people and get our people a little bit more comfortable with having these discussions. Because the only time that we actually seem to express ourselves is when we're in those groups of other social groups, which is sad.
Well, and I'm sure you guys are changing that. As I mentioned earlier, I've been on how many episodes?
Like 4.
Yeah, I lost count. And I've had those conversations too For folks who saw it in private, well, not in private, but off the show.
Mhm.
But good deal. So again, tell us where we can, audience can keep up with the show, social media platform addresses.
Well, you can always subscribe to What's the P on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, What's the P. On Instagram, it's What's the P _RL. And on Twitter, it's What's the P _RL.
All right, and so has season 2 episodes started filming? When you guys started filming? About
Yes,
when-
we're like halfway through. We did about 8 episodes, so we have like a couple more to do, and that's going to be a wrap for season 2. This time we took our time. Well, we took our time the first time, but this time we took a little bit more time. So as far as the editing, we really want it to be different. Every season we want to grow.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have some other things that we're going to expand.
I can take some good stuff coming. When will it premiere?
We're looking by the end of the month. We should have the first episode out. We were looking for January, but we both had some things that we had to do personally in our lives that put some constraints on how fast we can get information out. But we do have shows already filmed. We're continuing to film some other shows. If you want to be involved, and we encourage everybody that if you have a voice and you need something to say, we would love for you to contact us to be on the show, because the more opinions and perspectives that we have, the better the dialogue is. And we definitely want guys to feel encouraged to express themselves in our community, so that we can get the results that we want, that other communities get. And without those discussions, we don't get anything. We just become this hollow voice.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again. We're looking forward to it, and I'll be expecting my What's the P shirts coming up soon too, by the way. And there you guys have it. That's the P. Make sure you tune in to watch the episode. Some great episodes coming up for season 2.
Positive representation, learn and connect. This is everything you need. Sharing their perspective, now you knowing what's the P. Hey, what's the P? Let's go.